The views and opinions expressed by the host do not state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the views, opinions, and insinuations made by the host, guests, do not reflect those of the show, the management, and the network. Magandang gabi, Pilipinas. Foreign ships press into our waters, and from within, a voice says, "Isuko na." As China pushes its claims, the Kalayaan Island Group is questioned not just abroad, but at home after a senator suggested surrender. Tonight on the PH Insider, we ask, if we give this up, what do we give up next? I am Ox Balyado, and this is the PH Insider, where surrender is challenged. At siyempre, para tulungan tayong himayin ang mga isyong politikal at matalinong diskurso, veterano po sa larangan ng mga isyong politikal. Matapang, diretso at matalino sa kanyang mga binibitawang pahayag at pagpapaliwanag. Academician from the University of Santo Tomas and an international relations expert, Dr. Dennis Coronacion. Sir, good evening.
Good evening, Sir Ox. Magandang gabi ho sa inyong lahat. Narito na naman po ulit tayo upang samahan si Sir Ox na himayin at silipin ang mga nagbabagang issue sa bansa natin.
There you go. And here we go again, Professor Dennis.
Yes.
Nangunguna sa mga isyong pinag-uusapan ngayon ng bayan.
Swear to the Constitution that we will defend the Constitution, all the laws and orders and regulations. Kapag ka magkakaroon po ng giyera sa pagitan ng dalawang bansa, kayo po ang una na sasagupa dito. Kaya dapat po mas interesado kayo kaysa sa amin. Ano ba talaga ipagpapatayan natin dito? We will offer our lives, including the lives of our children, and to die for it, for something that is not even within our EEZ. Ang gawin natin po para madali, i-give up natin yung KIG. Then, mako-coordinate na natin lahat. But until and unless nandun yung KIG, wala nga po nasa labas po ng ating exclusive economic zone. Paano po malalagay sa entire...
AFP nanindigan na hindi isusuko ang Kalayaan Island Group sa kabila ng mungkahi ni Senator Marcoleta. Binigyan din ng Armed Forces of the Philippines o AFP na hindi ito isusuko ang Kalayaan Island Group. Ito ay matapos ang naging mungkahi ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta na isuko na ito dahil sa kawalan umano ng coordinates at labas na ito sa Exclusive Economic Zone o EEZ ng bansa. Ayon kay Philippine Navy spokesperson for West Philippine Sea, Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad, ang konstitusyonal na mandato ng AFP ay protektahan ang pambansang soberanya at integridad ng teritoryo ng Pilipinas. Binigyan din ni Trinidad na kasama sa teritoryo o sa teritorya ng Republika ng Pilipinas at ang hagip na mandato ng sandatahang lakas ng ang Kalayaan Group of Island at anumang parte na saklaw ng bansa. All right, now let's talk about where the real battle lies. Joining us tonight in the program via Zoom is Akbayan Youth Chairperson Kyla Meneses. Good evening, Ma'am Kyla. Welcome to the PH Insider on TV.
Hello po, good evening. Thank you po for inviting us to give more stances on the issue on West Philippine Sea.
Alright. Agil po sa usaping ito po, initially anong reaksyon po ng Akbayan Youth?
Patungkol po dun sa sinabi ni Senator Marcoleta, no? Medyo mahirap pong lunukin yon. Kasi yung sovereignty po natin is non-negotiable. Suggesting na we surrender the KIG is not just defeatist, it is unconstitutional. Yung sovereignty po natin is not also commodity, no? Hindi po ito parang gamit na dahil lang mahirap ipaglaban, ay ibibigay na natin doon sa mga bully o doon sa China. Dahil po kapag binitawan natin yung ating kalayaan, binibitawan na rin po natin yung dignidad at kabuhayan ng mga mangingisdang Pilipino na yun po yung pangkabuhayan at doon na mismo nakatira. Kaya po kami sa Akbayan at sa atin ito koalisyon, talagang naniniwala kami na hindi dapat pagsuko yung first option mo to reclaim kung ano man yung atin.
Natutuwa tayo no, na ang ating kabataan ay mayroong rin posisyon. Hindi lamang sa mga lokal na mga issue, no, pati yung mga issue na may kinalaman sa ugnayan natin sa ibang bansa.
Correct.
So nakatutuwa na very aware ang ating mga kabataan at napansin nila na defeatist yung kumbaga yung stand ni Senator Marcoleta. Ma'am Kyla, nakikita niyo ba na may parallelism doon sa sinasabi ngayon ni Senator Marcoleta, yung kanyang mga controversial statements, at saka doon sa nakaraang administrasyon?
Yes po, no, makikita natin yung same na statements and parang iisa lang po yung script na sinusundan ng ating mga Chinador, no? At kailangan po natin itong agarang kontrahen kasi yung pagsasabi, 'di ba? Yung China pagbaban pa sa mga Philippine officials natin from moving within our own territory, yung paghahayaan, pagsasabi na hayaan na lang ang China, yung script na magkakagera kapag nilaban natin yung soberanya natin, yung West Philippine Sea na atin naman talaga, hindi naman po kailangan dahil nanalo naman na po tayo noong 2016 sa arbitral ruling and we just need to continue assert our presence. Napakadali lang po nun, yung mga po natin, local officials nga po natin sa Kalayaan Islands, 'di ba? Grabe, tumindig laban sa China, bakit hindi magawa ng Chinador o maging yung past administration na binibigay na lang ang soberanya ng Pilipinas sa China?
In his most recent interviews, no, tila meron na pong ginawa o statement ng pagbawi. Ano po masasabi ng Akbayan Youth dyan? At sinasabi nga po di mano ni Senator Marcoleta na hindi naman daw niya sinabing isinusuko niya ang bansa.
Out of context daw.
Or out of context daw yun. Oo.
Kanina po, clearly po sinabi talaga ni Marcoleta, mukhang hindi na po kailangan itanggi ni Sen Marcoleta yon, no? Dahil clearly naman po, naka-live yung hearing, sinabi niyang isuko na lang yung Kalayaan Group of Islands para hindi na magkagera at iba pang mga dahilan. Clearly, no, kahit ban bawiin pa to ni Senator Marcoleta, nagpapakita ito, no, na mas pinupush niya yung interest ng China kaysa sa interest ng mga kapwa niya Pilipino dito sa Pilipinas. Yung pagsabi pa lang na hayaan na, 'di ba? At isurrender na lang yung KIG ay nagpapakita ng hindi isa pong ethical na responsibility ng isang senador na dapat unang-unang nagpoprotekta sa soberanya ng Pilipinas.
Well, ako nagtataka lang ako, Ma'am Kyla, no, kasi sa dami ng mga binabanggit na mga legal basis sa mga claims natin dito sa Kalayaan Island Group, tsaka sa Scarborough Shoal, parang ang hirap kumbinsihin ni Senator Marcoleta upang siguro magbago ang kanyang isip, ang kanyang posisyon. Sa tingin nyo kaya, number one, magbabago pa ba ang isip ni Senator Marcoleta? And number two, ano kaya ang motibo niya? Kasi abogado rin naman siya. Tanong ko, ano kaya ang kanyang motibo, no? Upang sabihin na mamahina ang ating basihan sa pag-claim natin dyan sa Kalayaan Island Group?
Of course po, I cannot speak on behalf of Senator Marcoleta, pero tingin po talaga namin, it's the same script na naranasan po natin noong Duterte time, no? Yung pilit na sinasabi sa atin na best friend natin yung China, magkakagera kapag nilaban natin yung West Philippine Sea, pag nilaban natin yung soberanyang dapat naman ay talaga sa atin. It's the same script, pero tingin po talaga namin may political agenda behind it. We don't know if ano yung, and we don't, yung pinaka-specific, but clearly naman kasi, ang dali lang i-define noong batas, ang dali lang intindihin noong pagkapanalo natin sa arbitral ruling. So, there's no any other definition. Kaya ang hirap intindihan nila Sen. Marcoleta kung wala ba talagang about ito sa political aspirations.
Parang parang may karugtong na to o parang pwede na tong ikawing doon sa paghahanda siguro sa mga darating na eleksyon, yung 2020
Tingin niyo ba?
election. But anyway, sige. Right now, ano po ba ang mga susunod? Ano po bang plano ng akbayan? Anong subsequent steps are you gonna take matapos po itong o sa harap po nitong mga usaping ito?
Salamat po. No, una po, dapat magbigay tayo ng pagsaludo doon sa mga patuloy na nilalaban yung soberanya natin. Kaya saludo po talaga tayo sa opisyal ng Munisipyo ng Kalayaan. Sa totoo lang po, sa panahon ngayon na nasusulputan po yung mga Chinador at sagip China ng mga congressman, yung tapang po nila Mayor Alindongan at DM Albaida ay dapat po nating tularang lahat. At syempre po, tungo doon ay habang yung ibang mga politiko ay tumatahimik o kaya naman sila po yung talagang lantarang nagtatanggol ng China, kapag po inaabuso tayong mga Pilipino, itong mga opisyal po ng kalayaan yung patuloy na tumindig para sa soberanya natin. Sila po talaga yung kailangan nating bigyan din ng pansin at ng mas suporta. At tungo po nito, kami po sa atin ito ay magko-conduct ulit ng pang-apat na civilian West Philippine Sea mission sa West Philippine Sea. Dahil po ang mission naman po namin sa akbayan is to civilianize West Philippine Sea. Kung patuloy po itong minimilitarize ng China, 'di ba? Continue po nilang binobomba yung ating mga fisher folks, kailangan pong i-continue din natin yung pag-assert na atin ang West Philippine Sea.
Ma'am, follow-up question lang regarding your last statement. Yung plano nyong sumama doon o magsagawa ng caravan doon sa West Philippine Sea to civilianize the West Philippine Sea issue. Sa tingin nyo ba, kasi I think this is not the first time that someone has done this. I think in the past may mga gumawa na rin yan ng mga members ng civil society. So far, ma'am,
Yes po.
ano na kaya naging impact ng ganyang klaseng pagkilos on the part of the civil society?
Naku, mahalaga po to. Yung ating ito coalition po kung saan bahagi din yung akbayan, 4 na beses na po itong ginawa. At tungo po doon, mas ginagawa po kasi nating relevant yung issue ng West Philippine Sea. Na konektado po ang bawat isang Pilipino sa usapin ng soberanya at kalayaan natin sa West Philippine Sea. So, mahalaga po yung messaging natin na i-civilianize yung West Philippine Sea dahil ito po ay very clear na alternative sa ginagawa ng China. Hindi naman po ibig sabihin, hindi po natin kailangan ng gera para ipakita na o para i-assert yung pagmamay-ari natin. Kailangan lang po natin ng presensya kung nasaan tayo. O sa mga tahanan natin, hindi naman natin kailangan ng permit ng kapitbahay natin. So, ma-normalize po yung pagpunta ng mga ordinaryong Pilipino doon sa sarili nating teritoryo. At pangalawa po, pagbibigay din ng suporta at pagsasabi at mensahe sa mga fisher folks natin na hindi sila nag-iisa. May kasama silang naninindigan na ipaglaban yung atin.
Alright, Ma'am Kyla, parting words, message o mensahe po para sa ating mga kababayan galing po sa sektor ng kabataan sa inyo po, sa Akbayan Youth.
Yung huli po ay kaya po mahalaga yung mission ng atin ito. Nakita natin yung sa mata ng mga mangingisda, kahit may mga higanteng barko ng China, lumalaban po sila. Yung pagpapadala po namin doon ng supplies, paraan po namin yun para sabihin, hindi po sila nag-iisa. Kaya po kailangan mas maging mulat, magsalita po tayo at labanan po natin yung lumalalang disinformation ng China, lalo na ngayon may mga China door at sagip China Congress persons po tayo sa Kongreso.
All right, Ma'am Kyla Meneses, Chairperson ng Bayan Youth, thank you very much for joining us in the show tonight. Maraming salamat po, and it's an honor to have you in the show. The debate over the Kalayaan Island Group is no longer just about foreign pressure. It is also about the words spoken by your own leaders. As the PH Insider returns, we go deeper, examining consequences of surrender talk and what it means for our national defense. Stay with us. The PH Insider on TV. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back to the PH Insider on TV. The Municipal Council of Kalayaan deliberated a resolution opposing the controversial statement of Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Local officials are seeking to have the remarks stricken from the official records, firmly asserting the country's sovereign claim over the islands. And to help us understand their sentiments, joining us online is Kalayaan Vice Mayor Maurice Philip Alexis Albaida. Well, good evening and welcome to the PH Insider, Vice Mayor.
Good afternoon, Sir Dennis and Sir George. Thank you for having me here in the Insider.
Vice Mayor Ox Balyado po. Ox Balyado.
Sir,
All right. No problem. Okay. Good evening once again. Anyway, first off, gusto muna naming mabilisan. Reaksyon po doon sa naging statement ni Senator Marcoleta. Nung una niyo pong mapanood, ano pong initial reaction ninyo bilang vice-alcalde po ng inyong town, ng inyong
Well,
bayan?
I have a mental model, as a former communication practitioner, hindi lang isang beses kong pinanood at hindi lang yung clip. Binuo ko po para ma-sure ko na tama po yung pagkakaunawa ko. And fortunately, kung ano po yung sinabi niya, yun po talaga yung niya sabihin, sa akin pagkakaunawa. And in that case, doon na po ako nag-react. We feel insulted, offended, and dismayed by the remarks of the Senator Marcoleta.
Okay. Well, the Municipal Council of Kalayaan formally opposed Senator Rodante Marcoleta's statement to give up the Kalayaan Island Group. Is this a resolution a symbolic protest or a political line in the sand?
Well, it is both a symbolic and political po. Ito po ay pagbibigay boses sa amin po mga magigiting na mamamayan na nag-sacrifice na po ng convenience sa iba't ibang lugar sa Pilipinas at pinili po na manatili po sa Pag-asa Island na bahagi po ng Kalayaan Island po. Ang amin pong resolusyon ay bunga po ng amin pong pagtatanong, pagsasaliksik sa amin pong mga kababayan kung ano po yung kanilang naramdaman at yun din pong aming naramdaman. Ang sinasabi po nila, bakit kami pa ang i-give up? Ang dami na nga namin give up para dito manirahan. Naranasan nila na agahan, papaya, tanghalian, papaya, hapunan, papaya, pati sigarilyo, dahon ng papaya dahil wala akong bumabiyahe nung araw po nung hindi pa po talaga develop yung Kalayaan Island Group. So mararamdaman natin yung pinanggagalingan nung kanila pong mga sentimiento. At yun lang naman po yung naging dahilan po ng Sangguniang Bayan para po ipasa yung resolution na alisin po sa tala ng ating pong Senado ng Pilipinas yung mga kataga po na pinura ng ating pong mabuting senador.
Well, Vice Mayor, clarification lang ito, no? Iba pa ho ito dun sa resolution na ipinasa ng inyong Sangguniang Bayan na kung saan dinedeklara ang persona non grata, ang Chinese ambassador. Tama ho ba?
Yes po, yung pagdeklara po sa Chinese ambassador is last January 27, 30th regular session po namin ipinasa po yun. yun po ay yung kasagsagan ng mamalay ng Chinese embassy sa ating po mga national officials po.
Okay.
Okay. Well, tila merong pagbawi naman ginawa ang China dito, Professor Dennis, right? Sa balita at sinasabing yung mga galing din naman po sa lugar niyo pinagbabawal din. Meron ding ban na ginawa pumasok sa Hong Kong and other or sa China.
Yeah, I think that's with regard to the first resolution
Yes,
mentioned by Vice Mayor.
Yes po. Actually po ay lahat po ngayon ng opisyal ng Bayan ng Kalayaan. Dahil si Mayor po, Mayor Billy Alindogan ay dati pong Vice Mayor at ako po nung araw ay Sangguniang Bayan member. At ngayon po, sa current situation po, siya po ay Mayor, ako Vice Mayor. And the whole council unanimously passed at that one po. Sa usapin po ng pagban po sa amin, ikinalulugod po namin na makatanggap para sa amin po ito po ay award sa pagiging tapat sa ating pong bansa at sa pagtindig para po sa ating pong West Philippine Sea.
Yeah.
Ito bang statement na sinasabing isuko na? Sa tingin niyo po ba nailalagay ang kalayaan dito o at ang mga residente dito sa panganib or mas lalo pa nitong pinapaigting yung tensyon sa pagitan ng China at ng Pilipinas diyan po sa usaping West Philippine Sea?
Well, yung pagbanggit po na isuko na lang ang ang Kalayaan Island Group po, ay parang nagdudulot po ng confusion eh. Parang nagdudulot ng confusion. Sa kumbaga kung sa practical sense, ano ang pinagkaiba ng mansanas at ng orange, Alam niyo po, ang nagiging basehan nila is EEZ, which is hindi po yun yung basehan ng international norms pagdating po sa pagturing sa teritoryo. Si EEZ po, ulitin ko po, hindi po ako maritime law expert, pero sa aking pong pagsasaliksik at pakikinig sa mga eksperto, ay tumutukoy sa maritime zones, while yung teritoryo po ay nagpapatungkol po sa bahagi ng isang bansa kahit po ito ay malayo na. Ang example po nito sa Hawaii ay basta sa EEZ ng US, pero teritoryo pa rin po siya ng US.
Well, ako Sir Ox, it's very rare that a local government unit gets involved in a world war with a state entity, no?
Yes,
Kasi this is usually the province of the national government, particularly the president.
Right.
Yung foreign policy, ang architect niyan is the president.
Of course.
Tungkol dito, Vice Mayor, meron ho bang nakipag-ugnayan na sa inyo na national government office to somehow siguro talk with you about your resolutions? Kasi 2 resolutions na po yan, And parang kinokosyon kayo o ine-encourage kayo?
Na hinahinay lang.
Oo.
Ganun. Okay.
Well, wala po. Okay po. Ito po ay nauunawaan naman natin po ang dinamiko natin bilang isang demokratikong bansa. May mga hindi po sa hindi kayang gawin ng Pilipinas yung ginawa namin. Hindi pwedeng gawin ng national government. Kaya kami po yung gumawa. Bakit to? Kami po yung nakasubo dito. Kami yung naka-frontline. Kung hindi namin ipipersona non grata, di parang pinapabayaan na lang po natin yung ating mga official na nagdedepensa sa amin, na naninindigan para sa amin. Kami po, mismo sa loob po ng jurisdiction ng Bayan ng Kalayaan, may sundalong naputulan ng daliri, mamamayan namin na nakasakay sa Coast Guard vessel na binubomba ng kanya ng tubig, ano pa ho. Yung po mismong fiberglass vessel, binangga, binomba ng kanya ng tubig at nasira po. Kung ang rubrics po ng national government ay napakataas, pagdating po sa kanila pong tolerance sa ginagawa ng China, kami po hindi, kasi po kami po direkta po kaming nakakaranas. Ang mga mangingisda po namin, limitado ang naiikutang pangisdaan sapagkat nakapalibot po ang kanila pong mga fishing militia vessels, ang kanilang China Coast Guard, at ito po ay nag-i-intimidate sa ating pong mga maliliit na mangingisda, mga magigiting nating mamamayan.
Matapos po itong Vice Mayor, itong pagdedeklara ninyo ng through a resolution na persona non grata, itong isang Chinese national, meron bang from the national government, o baka lang, I'm just taking chances here, no? Baka meron bang mga politiko man lang na nagparamdam ng pagsuporta naman?
Well, meron pong isa. Hindi ko na po babanggitin dahil meron kaming non-disclosure agreement.
Okay.
Dahil tiwala kami sa isa't isa, nag-usap kami ng mga nakaraan.
Naka-NDA kayo,
isang national official na nagsabi niya, kung meron mang magpe-persona ng grata, kayo yun. Sabi niya, kasi kayo yung nakakaranas. Ay baka malaman niya na tuloy kasi minimimi ko the way siya magsalita.
Well, yun na nga, binabanggit ko kanina, okay, at least I'm glad to know na at least kahit pa paano merong nag-back up kagad sa local government. Sa akbang na ginawa ho ninyo vis-a-vis the issue, no? Pero yung reaction kaya ng marami sa mga kababayan ho ninyo dyan sa Kalayaan tungkol po doon sa pagbaban nga, ano po ba, na bahala ho ba sila na hindi na sila maaaring pagbawalan na rin ho silang tumungtong sa China o mga bansang konektado dito, kalyado rin?
O kaya ho baka mas lalong maghigpit ang China doon sa karagatan na paligid sa Kalayaan.
Yes, especially that konektado naman ang West Philippines sa South China Sea.
Yes.
Well, again po, ang ating pong mga magigiting na mamamayan, malalim po yung pagmamahal sa bayan. At mas nauunawaan nila yung ating mga hakbang at ipinagmamalaki po nila na meron po silang mga lingkod bayan na tumatayot na ninindigan para sa kanila. When it comes sa ating pong mga ibang mga kababayan, nakalagay naman po doon naka-numerical po kung ilan lang po kami ang binan. Hindi po ang buong Pilipinas, hindi ang buong Kalayaan, kundi kami lang naman po. It is in toto, letter by letter po ng aming mga pangalan ang naandun. At ibig sabihin kami lamang po. At hindi po namin yun iniinda. Hindi po namin iniinda yun. Sapagkat sabi ko nga, sa aming pagtindig, kung ito po ang kapalit, ay mananatili kaming marangal sa mga desisyong amin pong mga ginagawa para po sa bayan.
Now, Professor,
well, ako parang ang nararamdaman ko para sa kanila, nababahala ako, no? Kasi syempre, sila yung, sabi nga ni Vice Mayor kanina, nasa front line.
Yes.
So kung meron mang mga Chinese naval ships or Coast Guard na lalapit sa kanila, sila yung unang makakaramdam.
Right.
So kung siguro kapag may gano'n, hindi sila pwedeng pumalaot. Diba? Ay, Vice Mayor, ilan ho bang residente meron dyan sa bayan ninyo?
Nasa 66 households po. Around 400 to 450 individuals po. Sa ating pong Pag-asa Island, yung sa ngayon ay natatanging feature na meron pong civilian population. But ang trajectory po natin before po mag-end ang first term namin po ni Mayor ay makapaglagay pa po ng ng mga mamayan sa iba't ibang features po tulad ng likas, ng Lawak at ng Parola Island.
Well, Vice Mayor, ito pong controversy or does this controversy expose a disconnect between decision makers in Manila and communities in the front lines of the West Philippine Sea dispute?
Yes po, naniniwala naman po tayo na there is really a gap. Ang tawag natin dito is societal gap. Bakit to? Kasi nahirap po kaming maunawaan dahil sa peculiarity ng aming pong munisipyo. Hindi kami typical na munisipyo or LGU per se.
Right.
Kami po ay itinatag pursuant to Presidential Decree 1596 para saan po? Para sa effective occupation and control po at mapalakas po natin ang teritoryo natin sa western seaboard po natin.
Yeah. Well, Vice Mayor, ako po, I think this is going to be the last question. Tawag dito, ano ho ba yung ano ho ba yung magiging sunod na hakbang na gagawin ng inyong munisipalidad patungkol dito no sa usapin ng yung mga binibitewang salita ng ilan sa ating mga senador o senador na sinasabi i-give up na natin ang Kalayaan Island Group.
Well, sabi ko nga po, last session ay nagpasa tayo ng resolution. Dadalhin po natin yun. Ako po mismo next week ay sa Maynila para po dalhin yung kopya ng resolution iyon sa tanggapan ng Commission on Appointments. Dahil doon po naka-record yun. At siguro po to be proactive and to rise above the situation. Ipupush po natin na sana po maipasa na yung integration ng West Philippine Sea curriculum sa atin pong basic education at pagpapalakas po sa ating mga civil society organization whose cause is yung ating pong West Philippine Sea at maritime domain awareness. Sa nakikita ko po, pagka may bahagi po ang bawat mamamayan, ay mas mapapatatag po yung ating pong action bilang isang nation sa pagpapaangat ng kamalayan at kamulatan patungkol po sa West Philippine Sea.
All right. Okay, very good, Vice Mayor. Isa pong malaking karangalan na makasama po kayo sa ating programa.
Maraming salamat din po.
Meron po ba kayong maybe mensahe po para sa hindi lang po sa inyong mga constituents, kundi sa national government at sa sambayan ng Pilipino po?
Maraming salamat po sa pagkakataon. Ang West Philippine Sea po ay dapat nagbubuklod sa atin bilang mga Pilipino. Ito po dapat ang atin pong kinakikitaan ng pag-asa ng mga susunod po na salinlahi at dapat po tayong magkaisa sa pagpapasulong po ng mga development po sa West Philippine Sea. Wala pong ibang magmamalasakit sa West Philippine Sea kundi tayo po mga Pilipino. Matamang salamat, kalayaan ka mo yung Diyos nga po eh.
Maraming salamat, Vice Mayor Abaida ng Kalayaan Island Group. Thank you very much. Hanggang sa muli po.
Hanggang sa muli po, okay.
Alright, Professor Dennis, at ayan ay buo nating napakinggan yung pananaw at solidong stand ng bayan ng
straight from Kalayaan. Palawan. Talagang from the ground yung ating in-interview. So alam niya talaga yung karanasan, yung nangyayari doon sa mismo lugar na yon.
At direkta po nating napakinggan mismo ang sentimento, nararamdaman at pananaw po ng mga tao o ng bayan mismo ng Kalayaan sa pamamagitan po kay Vice Mayor Abaida. Papatuloy po natin ang mas malalim pa pong usapin. We will go deeper in this subject matter. When we return, makakasama po natin si Attorney Jay Baton-Bakal. Let's pause for a break. For the meantime, we'll be right back on PH Insider on TV.
We multiply the good for Filipinos nationwide. We drive learning. We promote wellness. We help rebuild lives. We turn hope into possibilities. We care for our players. We advance digital skills and employment. We bridge accessible healthcare to the underserved. We respond in times of disaster. We grant wishes that bring hope and opportunities. We champion responsible entertainment.
project by Bingo Plus Foundation, it really could help a lot of students and ignite their hope to innovate, to love science, to pursue research in academic, but also in their professional life.
Wala na yung mga dumi galing sa tubig, malinaw. Safe na po yung tubig namin. Thank you!
Kayo po ang ilaw ng aming buhay at tahanan po. Sa loob po ng 20 years, nagkailaw din po kami.
Maraming salamat kasi natupad yung kahilingan ko po na magkaroon ng sariling tindahan. As in, sobrang saya po namin mag-ina.
I think what DigiPlus and Bingo Plus is doing is really remarkable, and I really affirm you guys for that kasi like this one is a very big step.
Together, let's help Filipinos thrive and win in life.
You're still watching the PH Insider on TV. To help us separate fact from rhetoric and explain what the law truly says about our rights, our territory, and the danger of surrender talk. Joining us tonight is a maritime law expert, Attorney Jay Batombakal. Good evening, Attorney.
Hi, good evening, Ox, and to all our listeners or viewers, good evening.
Yeah, we also have here Professor Dennis joining us in this conversation. I'm sure it's going to be a very meaningful conversation amongst ourselves. And yung mga nakikinig sa atin, maraming matututunan.
Yes.
Yeah, sige, let's get the ball rolling, Attorney.
Attorney,
sige.
si Dennis po ito, no? Dennis Coronation from UST. You know, I've been following your presentations. I've been reading your studies, your publications regarding our claim on the West Philippine Sea. Alongside, of course, with the explanations of Justice Carpio. Napaka-solid nung ano ninyo nung inyong explanation. Lalo pa, it's anchored on international law and UNCLOS. Now, suddenly, we have this public official, si Senator Rodante Marcoleta, who has been questioning the position and the claim of the Philippines. Attorney, do you think that Senator Marcoleta has seen a loophole in our legal stand and that he is exploiting this legal loophole?
Well, I do not know if you could call it a loophole, but what he has been doing basically is bringing out things that can cause confusion, no? If you're not properly apprised of how to read and interpret like the state of the law, what the law is with respect to territories, and then with respect to maritime jurisdictions, no? So that lack of familiarity and knowledge, no, is what he's bringing out, and the problem there is that he should not be the one. He should not bring it out into the public because that only shows his lack of familiarity and knowledge about that subject matter, which is not really reflected in the government naman. So yun yung problem.
Yung vague definition doon, ng sinasabi doon sa yung 200 nautical miles, no? Na part yan ng decision ng arbitral ruling, tama po ba? Beyond the 200 nautical miles, I understand, meron pa rin mga maliliit na island doon. Is that, I think yung Pag-asa, correct me if I'm wrong,
yes.
Attorney, yung Pag-asa is beyond that point, right?
Yes.
Okay,
but
but
Pag-asa Island itself is around 280 nautical miles away from Palawan. Pero again, that is not relevant to the EEZ because the rights to the islands, no, that's the sovereignty over the islands is not based on the EEZ, no. The EEZ is created on the basis of your sovereignty over the land. So the determination of your sovereignty over the land is a separate question and it has no bearing on UNCLOS. Vale. Kasi nga, UNCLOS is the law of the sea, not the law of the land.
So, yun dapat linawin. No? May iba palang batas pagdating yung sa lupa at saka doon sa katubigan.
That's right.
Yes,
Oh.
yes. The establishment of sovereignty over any part of your territory, no, that is based on customary international law. And as long as you're able to show that you have been exercising full absolute sovereignty over the area, that is enough na, no? And it doesn't matter how far it is from the other parts of your territory, no? It doesn't have to be within 200 or outside of 200, whatever. Basta as long as you're exercising sovereignty over it, and it is accepted to be part of your own territory, then that's yours, no? So the best example that you can probably show is the United States, di ba? You have the mainland of the U.S. and you have Alaska, di ba? Between Alaska and the United States, it's not contiguous because you have Canada right between them. And then think of Hawaii. It's more than 1,000 miles away from the United States. But nobody questions that Hawaii is a state of the United States, di ba? So it doesn't matter how far it is as long as you are actually exercising sovereignty over it.
All right. Attorney, siguro what bolsters our sovereignty over Pagasa Island, no?
Yes, Pagasa.
Does it include the presidential decree that was issued during the time of Marcos Sr.?
Well, yeah, the presidential decree is actually evidence of the exercise of sovereignty that had already been existing.
Oh, okay.
Kasi, remember, in PD 1596, the Kalayaan Islands were organized into a municipality and made part of Palawan. No? If that area at the time that the decree was issued, if that area was not under the sovereignty of the Philippines, then hindi legally possible yon, di ba? Kasi it's not part of your country. So, in fact, dahil nagawa natin yon, ibig sabihin, sovereignty had already been acquired at the time. No? And if you look at the history of the Philippines and the Kalayaan Island Group, you'll find that years before, on 10 July 1971, that was when the Philippines announced that it had already acquired sovereignty over these islands. So PD 1596 came several years later, 7 years later. No? So that means that it already was exercising sovereignty through PD 1596.
Well, you have a very clear explanation, Attorney Jay, ano? Pero despite that, notwithstanding your explanation, ang pinagtatako ko lang is bakit ganyan pa rin yung sinasabi ni Senator Marcoleta? Do you think that he has an agenda?
Well, of course, we cannot, who knows what lurks in the hearts of men, di ba? Only the shadow knows. But clearly, his actions and statements, I can only speak to the impact, the effect, it tends to undermine our sovereignty or rights over these areas because it introduces doubt, especially in the minds of our people. That's one. Second, he is a high official of the government. He's a senator. Diba? And when you have high officials of government in such capacity, other countries can make use of your positions or statements as evidence against the country. No? So, kunwari, if you go to court later on, you ask a tribunal to adjudicate who these islands belong to, they will use these statements of high officials. No? Kasi, ang magiging argument dyan, how can the Philippines possibly have a valid claim to these areas when their own officials are confused or cannot even tell, no? Or they're still debating with other people, with other officials, whether or not these areas are under their sovereignty. So, if that's the case, that there is doubt, then that means their claim is not valid or not at least not as strong as ours, meaning as that of the other side. Because on the other side, wala silang ganyang mga usapan, walang ganong doubt. Diba? So, yun yung masama doon.
Yeah. Tama.
Well, meron mga komentaryo dyan na baka naman yung reaksyon lang ni Senator Marcoleta is part of the influence of this global hegemon's orientation, yung mga tendency na influence. You know how they play, right? Like rules, norms. They set that they shape, itong global hegemony like China. But anyway, pinasok ko lang kasi nag-aalala ako doon sa reaction din ng ibang Pilipino as it brought a certain amount of confusion to a lot of people, no? Itong issue na to. Nagkaroon tuloy ng mga perception na teka muna, parang tama na kailangan ng
mga parang mohon.
Kailangan ng ganito. So pwede palang isipin na hindi talaga ito pagmamayari ng Pilipinas, notwithstanding the fact that there is already this 2016 arbitrary ruling.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. And that's why it's counterproductive and it undermines our position because our own people's minds are clouded by it. Diba?
Okay. As I have mentioned, let me just take this opportunity. I already mentioned the arbitrary ruling, and it clearly says that indeed KIG and buong area, yung EEZ, and even beyond that point, ay atin. Ngayon, yes, please go ahead.
Just a little correction there, because this is also one of those misimpressions that people get. No, the ruling very clearly says that it is not resolving in any manner either way the issue of sovereignty over the islands. Kasi nga, that's land territory. The ruling is only with respect to the law of the sea.
Yes.
So all it determines really is the status of the waters around the island.
Around the Kalayaan Island Group. Yes. Okay.
Who owns the island, it's still, kumbaga, status quo. Kung ano yung situation niya before the ruling, ganun pa rin. And that's why it's even more important for us to remain consistent to our position. No? Because hanggat hindi nare-resolve yan, anything we do subsequently might be used against us by the other side.
All right. Okay, klaro yun.
Yes.
I stand corrected pagdating doon sa pagbanggit ko ng KIG, no?
Yes.
So, okay, the waters around the islands, yun ang sakop ng...
It does not settle the question of sovereignty,
Yes.
but rather yung use.
Yes, precisely. Pero, dahil sa nanalo tayo doon, ang ginagarantiya doon, yung malayang makakapangisda, mapapakinabangan natin yung waters, around those islands. And of course, that includes the preservation of our natural resources, especially yung reef. Yun ang isang concern ko na meron silang parang military encampment na doon, or military base na tinayo within our exclusive economic zone pa nga. And it has tremendously damaged the reef.
That's true.
Pwede ba natin sampahan sila ng separate case in regard to that damage that their project incurred? I mean, itong
activities
as a result?
Okay. Theoretically, pwede. No? Because the reef, for example, has been adjudicated or decided to actually belong to the Philippines. And they cannot be appropriated by any other country, without our consent. And the damage was inflicted on the reefs contrary to our laws. So, from a legal, theoretical perspective, pwede. No? So, kumbaga, ang challenge na ngayon is yung practicalities na like evidence, procedure, what forum, etc. Pero yun nga, yung mga issue na yon, as far as I know, is the subject of study or case build-up by the DOJ. So, meron namang ginagawa along those lines. No? So, who knows, baka mag-decide nga silang mag-file nga ng second case. No? The complication is that when you talk about international litigation between states, it's not a simple matter. No? It's not like going to an RTC.
Yes.
There are issues of jurisdiction and forum and venue to consider. There's also yung international relations aspect nun, which is inevitable considering that these are about the relations of states. No? So yun pa yung mga additional factors na dapat i-consider in making any kind of decision on how to approach international litigation.
Ako naman, attorney, I was thinking along the line of filing an ethics complaint against Senator Marcoleta, no? I think mas posible yun kaysa dun sa una.
Well, as a lawyer, tanungin natin si Attorney Batong Bakal. With the confusion that it probably, such controversy or statement brought, tingin mo, pwede siyang kasuhan or pwede siyang sampahan ng reklamo sa Ethics Committee ng Senado?
Well, why not? No, I mean, if there's a procedure for it that allows private citizens to do so, why not? Diba? The other question, however, you have to think of is it's going to be senators who will be making decisions on the ethics complaints. So, dapat, kumbaga, there's going to be a political element there that you have to account for.
Yes.
Baka mamaya, they might decide na, no, we protect our own. Mga ganon, diba? So, yun. Pero, again, in theory, pwede. Oo.
Alright. Sige. Okay, paano ito dapat tignan ng isang karaniwang pangkaraniwang mamamayan, mamamayang Pilipino, itong tinura ni Senator Marcoleta, Attorney Jay?
Well, una, yung sinabi nga niya na mga suggestion niya i-deny, having said ito, na i-give up na lang yan o hindi naman yan sa atin yan dahil nasa labas yan ng 200 miles, mga ganon. Yung mga ganon na parang pinalalabas na either mahina ang ating karapatan doon, ang soberanya natin doon, o kaya may problema, may puta, hindi yan katanggap-tanggap. Okay? That's not acceptable, especially coming from a senator of the Republic. Okay? As far as the Filipino people are concerned, no, matters of sovereignty, rights, and jurisdictions should not be questioned by their own government officials. And yung government officials naman na yun, definitely they're not supposed to question that because they all swear an oath to uphold the Constitution. So it goes against that pag dinududa nila yung sarili nating batas. Okay? Right. So pag narinig na gano'n yung ating mga taong bayan, when they hear those things, they should not quickly believe those things coming from government official because they undermine the interests of the Filipino people. So, ganun. Siguro yun yung caution ko about that.
Yes.
In turn, government officials should also keep that in mind, no? That these are not matters to take lightly, and this is not like nag-uusap kayo sa inuman or anything. No? I mean, especially if you're in a public function, like participating in a committee hearing of the Senate, no? Na actually hindi naman relevant to sa statement niya. Diba? It's actually out of order, kumbaga eh. Pero, they're not supposed to be doing these things. No? It's not their place to question the laws of the land, especially when it comes to our sovereignty and sovereign rights. No? Yun.
All right.
Because when they do that, it only benefits the other countries that are trying to take it away from us.
All right.
Whether deliberately or accidentally, doesn't matter. The point is, it helps other countries take these things away from us.
Before we, Attorney Jay, before we let you go, meron ka bang mensahe kay Senator Marcoleta?
Hindi naman siguro. I hope that I just hope he listens. No? Kasi nga, he should not be making these kinds of statements affecting the sovereignty and rights of the Philippines, affecting its territorial integrity and his jurisdictions, carelessly. No? He has to be very circumspect, considering that he's a senator of the Republic.
Well, I did ask for a message from Attorney Batong Bakal because I remember parang meron pang hamunan ng debate. Between Attorney Batong Bakal and Senator Marcoleta. And I watched one of your interviews at Atila, sabi mo parang hindi na kailangan pag-debate. Tama ho ba?
Yes.
Gusto niyo po bang i-reconsider yung decision?
No, yun nga, again, ang position ko, you do not debate the country's sovereignty, rights, and jurisdictions. If he wants, I'm okay to giving briefings and to enlighten him on what he's interpreting wrong and what the law actually is, what the law actually says on these things that he's raising. No?
Yeah.
But that's not a matter of debate. That's a matter of enlightenment and information.
All right. Okay, Attorney Jay Batong Bakal, it is such an honor. Professor Dennis and I are delighted to have you in the show.
Yes.
Maraming salamat po sa pagkakataon at sa oras po ninyo na magkaroon po ng isang makabulang panayam.
Welcome po. And, good night. Good afternoon.
Yes, thank you very much.
Salamat po.
Mabuhay po kayo. All right, si Attorney Jay Batombacal, our maritime law expert from the University of the Philippines.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, Professor Dennis, this time, nakita natin yung pananaw ng isang kababayan natin, opisyal mismo sa Kalayaan. Nandyan ang pananaw na rin, ang stand ng kabataan. At of course, ang ating maritime law expert, si Attorney Batombacal. In your, as far as you're concerned, ano sa tingin mo dapat tutukan natin dito? Sa usaping ito ngayon, involving, it's very controversial. Pag-usapan natin, Senator Marcoleta. Lagi ako very enthusiastic pagdating siya kasi I have a lot of things that I want to say. Kaya lang, host tayo eh. Sige. Sige.
Well, apparently, ang dami natin nakausap ngayon sa programa natin. Ano? So it's Senator Marcoleta against the world. So one versus all. And yun na lang, I think it's a telling sign. It's an indicator that there must be something wrong with what with this statement na ibigay na lang natin ang pag-asa o yung kalayaan.
Para wala ng gulo. Parang ganun dating
maling-mali yun eh. Kasi meron, pinaliwanag ni Attorney Jay, tsaka nung yung Vice Mayor from Kalayaan Island, na napakalinaw. Yung lived experiences nila, na meron ding struktura ng local government unit doon at meron mga opisyales. Tapos may pinaliwanag ni Attorney Jay na mayroong mga batas at saka international law na ina-uphold yung karapatan natin. Hindi lamang doon sa Kalayaan Island Group, pati na rin doon sa Lumampas.
Yes.
Yung nasa 280 nautical miles.
Beyond the 200 nautical miles defined in the
That's right. Kumakausap lang natin sila parati, it is very clear. And that it should not be muddled. Hindi na dapat guguluhin pa. Especially by an official who happens to be a senator, a high-ranking public official. So tama doon si Attorney Jay, na public officials like him should refrain from issuing statements. Such as that one, na parang ang lumalabas reckless and irresponsible and misleading. That's right. So yun ang tingin ko, yun doon tayo dapat mag-focus. Oo. Ngayon, tama naman sa Attorney Jay, as for the intention, mahirap nga basahin. We can speculate about so many things. Sabihin natin, baka maaring may kinalaman sa 2028 elections.
Gusto ko silipin doon sa aspeto na yan. Di ba?
Pero hindi natin malalaman yan hanggat di pa dumarating yon. So, tama naman siya. Ang bigyan natin ng pansin ay yung epekto. Kagaya ina-undermine yung position ng ating bansa with regard to that issue. Naguguluhan yung mga tao. So yan ang malinaw dyan.
Okay. All right. Again, thank you very much. Salamat din sa iyo, Professor Dennis. Thank you very much for your time. Dr. Dennis.
Thank you as well.
Sir. And here we go again.
Yes.
History has taught us this much. Nations do not lose territory in a single act. They lose it slowly. When doubt replaces resolve, when silence replaces outrage, and when surrender is dressed up as a pragmatism. The question now is not whether Kalayaan is worth defending. The people who live there have already answered that. The armed forces have already answered that too. The real question is this: will those in power stand with the nation or be remembered as those who spoke of giving it away? And on matters of sovereignty, neutrality is not an option. Magandang gabi. Ako po si Ox Balyado with veteran political analyst Dr. Dennis Cornacion.
Magandang gabi po. Isa na namang talakayan na very insightful.
Hanggang sa muli nating paghihimay-himay ng mga balitang may pakialam ka. This is the program where we cut through the noise, confront the gaps, and demand the answers the nation deserves. This is the PH Insider on TV.